As a KOKOIST USA educator and an Erica's ATA educator, I am excited to walk you through these two brands that I love. We're going to start with prepping the nail plate. We want some texture to that plate and all skin cells up and off, so I like to use my Erica's ATA bits to do so. We're starting with our sanding band in medium grit on the adjustable mandrel, and we're just looking for that texture, that chalky finish, and have it evenly prepped. I like using a larger barrel for this when I'm trying to cover the entire nail, versus if I'm working in a smaller zone, I'll choose one of the smaller bits that fit it better. I'm working with the E-file parallel or flat to the plate and with the curve, so I'm not digging in any way. Make sure when you're prepping you use a nice even but light pressure so that the tool can do the work for you and you're not overfiling your client's nail plate. We're moving on to cuticle prep. We want to make sure all of those skin cells are up off the plate so the Gelip system can hold on for weeks of retention. I'm working in reverse at 10,000 RPMs and I'm just sweeping across this proximal nail fold nice and flat to the nail plate. We're going to get all those edges of the nail plate free of debris and skin cells using the 100% diamond plated bits from Erica's ATA. So I'm using the unicorn bit here in a medium grit. Medium grit is a great bit to use to whisk away dead skin cells, but also leave a little texture on that plate. So our product again has a great bond. Now I'm cleansing the nail plate with alcohol. You want to be 90% or higher just to avoid any impurities that can be added to the alcohol. And scrub out any of those skin cells and push that skin on the proximal fold up and away and off the nail plate. KOKOIST developed these beautiful nippers for us, these rose gold that are made by hand, super sharp. Handmade in Japan with very talented artisans. I'm going to use these very efficient nippers to get just these edges of peeling skin up and off. And then I'm going to use my Erica's ATA ball bit to just soften and smooth it out. It's important to smooth blunt edges that you have cut so that they don't turn into future hangnails. If you leave those blunt edges in place, they dry up maybe a couple days after the service, and then your client has these peeling, gnarly hangnails, and they just got their nails done. So smooth it out with a ball bit. You want to be careful around these peeling ones, though. It's like baby fresh skin underneath, so that's why the diamond bit works really well, because it's not causing more injury. It's just gently exfoliating away those loose pieces of dead skin. We're going to cleanse the nail plate with the alcohol, make sure we have no dust present. And now it's time to apply our Gelip. We're going to use the Gelip soft gel tip extension method that KOKOIST has created, and there's a few things that are very unique about this system. Let me show you the box that it is in. It now comes with each size individually opening. So if you were to drop this, you're not doing 100 tip pickup and trying to figure out what the numbers are to fit where. It's really tight, and I may or may not have tested dropping it. We have size 0 all the way to 9. There's 4 things that set the Gelip system from KOKOIST USA apart from other soft gel tip extensions. The first, you're going to notice that the underside is pre-etched. That's going to save us time in our service and help with retention. The other is the flexibility of this tip, so we can cater it to those clients that have more flat nail beds and those who are more curvy. It's made to rebalance, so the way we apply them is unique. They're ready for a repeat service and they're sleek. The fourth point is you will get the very sleek, high-end Japanese gel look in a more efficient amount of time because of how this system is used. Let's do it. We're going to go ahead and size this tip. Now, the one thing you want to focus on when you're sizing them is your sidewalls. So when you place it down to size, you don't want to slide it all the way up to the proximal fold. We set this system about 2 millimeters off that proximal fold, and I'm going to hold it in place as I rotate and rock and make sure that I'm sidewall to sidewall. If you are in between sizes, I would rather you aim to a little bit higher, and let me show you a little trick where you take the tip And up where it's etched, you're going to just roll it between your fingers a little bit. That creates a little bit more curve we can fill in with product, and then we check sidewall to sidewall. Of course, if you want to, you can go ahead and file the edges, but this is going to save you time because you're not trying to fit that tip up along the proximal fold and match the shape of everybody's nails. You're just going to size it to the sidewalls. The Gelip system allows you to complete sizing in under 5 minutes. Once you have your tips sized, you want to go in with some alcohol on a cotton swab, 90% or higher, and just cleanse that pre-etched area. We want to make sure we don't have any oils or debris with dust in there so we get maximum adhesion. There's an extra tip you can do. You know those clients that have really thin plates, maybe damaged, or they just have a really hard time with retention? We're going to grab a diamond bit from Erica's ATA and give it just a touch more texture for them. And I'm just going to slide right in there and give just a touch more texture to this tip for those trouble clients that we love so much. Again, go in and cleanse it before you apply and make sure that this alcohol dries completely. We're going to apply this Gelip tip with the new developed Gelip base that KOKOIST has made. This is unique because it has flexibility and strength and the extra element of cushion, so that as the nails get pressure and leverage, this will help hold them on without them peeling off the plate. I'm going to apply a thin layer of the Gelip base over the entire nail plate, avoiding any of contact with the skin, and cure for 30 seconds. KOKOIST makes this milkshake lamp. It's portable and allows you to freeze the tips in place on all 5 fingers, and once they're frozen in place, you can put them in for a full cure. The other fun thing they've made is this arm to hold it for you so you can do it hands-free. The technique we're going to use when applying the Gelip tip is we're going to go in and place it 2 millimeters offset from the proximal fold at an angle, and then we'll slowly press it down till the gel has reached the end of their free edge. But there's a little catch and trick. If you press down while in exposure to the milkshake lamp, you'll have more control of your gel. Let me show you. When I pick up my gel to go on the tip, I leave excess on the back side. It doesn't have to be a ton, but just enough to help us with our slip. Apply your Gelip base about 3/4 down on the nail tip, and then we're going to take the excess and just slide it along the top so we have some product to move. Here's a trick. Turn on your milkshake lamp. When you're rocking down from that angle, you want it to be exposed to the light. So it looks like this. One of the benefits to applying the tip under the light is it gives you a little more control of your gel and helps us avoid air pockets. It's starting to set it in place as you move down, and you'll find you have less mess ups. Once you have these all frozen in place, you want to place it in the light for a full cure of 60 seconds. I try to aim to have all my tips down within a 15-minute period. Once they're all cured, we're going to address the sidewalls first. So make sure you don't have any gel cured to the skin, as we're always avoiding contact with the skin. And you're going to place your diamond hand file from Erica's ATA. This is in medium grit. We're going to go ahead and slide it under that edge. And as I tuck in our sidewall, it's really important to rock this in. This is going to save you time. So it looks like this. After we've tucked in our sidewalls here and here, I'm going to place the file underneath and just make sure my shape is nice and even. You should have a really tight fit sidewall to sidewall without any gap between the nail and the skin. Take each of these steps and do them all the way through all 10 fingers before you move on to the next step. That will help with your time efficiency. Now we have the sidewalls tucked in nice and tight. We're left now with this little ridge from where we applied the tip offset from the cuticle. And if you feel it and go slowly, you can feel a little catch right there. And we want to get rid of that, because the other cool thing about the Gelip tips is you will now place a thin layer of base, not to add bulk, but to really even out that finished look, and it'll be ready for a rebalance after that. Let me show you. I'm taking my sanding band and I am sliding just along that edge just to blend it in a tiny bit. I'm not even that, I'm at about 14,000 RPMs, and if you're more comfortable working at a lower, you can absolutely do that. One thing to note is I am not on the nail plate here. I'm only on top of the tip. Once I've blended the tip with the natural nail, my next step is to blend it back just a little so we have a very smooth transition. Once you've blended, just walk down the tip and give a touch of texture. It doesn't have to be a lot. I like to focus on these edges right here because that's where impact takes it. That's going to help our base have maximum adhesion. Next, remove the dust. You're still working with the gel base. Same gel base. So we're going to take the exact same Gelip base now, and we're going to do a very thin, almost like slip layer over the entire tip. You don't want to focus on adding bulk here. It's just going to help us blend down to that natural nail that we had back by the proximal fold to make sure we have a very even silhouette to the nail. Because right now you can kind of see there's a little divot here where we don't have the tip. It's so slight that you don't need to use a ton of product for this. Yeah. So I'm going to take that bead of product that I have right here. I'm going to place it and just slide it side to side so it's feeling in that very slight gap, and then lightly pinch it towards you to get that beautiful silhouette. You can even touch and pull product if you need to anywhere. This base is unique because you get a really good amount of flow, but still have that thickness needed to cushion the tip on the nail plate. Once you have it where you want it, we're going to go ahead and go for a full cure of 60 seconds. When your client comes back for their repeat appointment, you have a couple options with the Gelip system. We can remove color, blend, reshape, shorten if you want to, as long as you're not losing your full shape, and then rebalance or fill your Gelip. Or you can go in and reduce, remove, and replace with your e-file. Let me show you how. Using the Safety Smooth Top Carbide from Erica's ATA in medium grit, I'm going to run at 25,000 and just remove my color. It's just hanging on the end because it didn't have any support. Next step is refining your free edge. Should be starting to feel less floppy because you don't have that length anymore. These are one of my very favorite to wear. It's a beautiful shape, right? And they're just light and don't bug. At 5,000 RPMs, we're gonna prep the new growth and make sure we have a nice blended edge and a little texture on the whole tip. As always, I love doing all of my cuticle work with Erica's ATA diamond bits. This one's the nib bit. It kind of works like a flame bit, but it has just a little bit different shape, and a lot of techs are more comfortable with this bit as they learn the flame bit techniques. Cleanse with alcohol and let dry completely. All right, this part you already know. You just need to go in with a slip layer and then that extra bead closer to the cuticle where that new growth is, just like we did on top of the tip. You'll notice there's no primer required in this system. It's not needed as long as you have texture and clean and dehydrated. I'm going to show you a full removal and replacement for the Gelip system. So this is the Erica's ATA T-Rex bit, and it is made to do this really quickly. So it's teethy. I'm going to run it in the range of 25 to 30,000, and I'm going to aim for reducing that tip to a very thin layer that we're going to leave on the nail plate to protect it, and then we will replace.
This bit was actually designed for soft gel tips.
Right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to focus on the color first. Took the length down, and now we're going to take the color off and evaluate how thick our tip and base is. Once you're down to a thin layer, and we're going to leave that barrier, I'm going to go in and prep it just like I would the plate and the new girl. Using a carbide bit from Erica's ATA is going to save you time when it comes to removing and replacing and rebalancing.
So Hill, I have a question.
Yeah.
What would be the benefits and the reason why to do the rebalance versus a full removal and reapplication?
That's actually a great question. So rebalance is probably going to save you time.
Okay.
And it's great if you're staying generally with the same shape and all of that. If you're uncomfortable with free edge shaping, you don't feel like you excel with it that much, or if you want a dramatic shape change, it's going to be easier to remove and just put a different Gelip shape and length on.
Okay.
Okay. Cuticle work before you reapply with 100% diamond bit. Now we just repeat our application process. Thanks for joining me today, Hillary Herrera, as I explored and shared two of my most favorite brands, KOKOIST and Erica's ATA. You should give this a try and level up your game.